Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to see my personal top 10 list of shortcuts that can be used in Excel, but I would say also in different products offered by Microsoft Office, as for example Word and PowerPoint. So let's start with the first one, that is in reality double, because as you can see I inserted here Ctrl plus C and also Ctrl plus V. So basically this shortcut is used to copy a cell, for example, to another cell, as well as Ctrl V to paste. So just to give you an example, if for example I go in cell F3 and I press Ctrl plus C, as you can see, first of all the cell has changed, and basically is saying to you that we have selected this information to be copied. Now we can, for example, go in another cell, let's say for example J3. We can just press Ctrl V to paste this information, and as you can see I've just copy pasted my information. Instead of doing that by using, for example, the right click of the mouse, so by right clicking on Ctrl C you can also select copy this information, as you can see here, copy, and then you can just go in cell K, for example, right click again and paste the information as you prefer. So for example standard paste in this way. So Ctrl C, Ctrl V can save you a lot of time, and as I mentioned before, it can be used, for example, also in PowerPoint and Word and so on. Another pretty powerful shortcut is Ctrl plus D, and it is used to copy paste any information to the cell below. So for example, if I go in column J, right below cell J3, I can just press here in cell J4 Ctrl plus D, and I just copy paste the information that was in the cell above of mine in my cell. So it can be useful if you, for example, you want to copy the same information on a list of cells below, for example until cell 12 of column J. I can just select all of them, press Ctrl plus D, and I copy paste this information in all the cells, so it can save you also a lot of time. The third one is Ctrl N. Ctrl N is used to create a new page, a new sheet. So for example, you can just try on your hand. For example, if I'm now in an Excel file and I press Ctrl N, I just create a new worksheet, a new book. So it can be also useful to save you a lot of time. Instead of going in file and create a new Excel file, I just press Ctrl N and I just create a new Excel file. Same thing you can do with Word, PowerPoint and so on. Ctrl A can be useful especially in Excel, because if you go in a specific database, for example, and you press Ctrl A, automatically Excel select all the table and the information related. So as you can see here, I've just pressed Ctrl A and Excel selected all the information that are around my cell. Can be useful is, for example, if you have a database that is very big and you want to select ASAP all the information in this database without considering the columns, for example, or the rows that do not have any information. You can just press Ctrl A and you automatically select all the information, and you can then, for example, insert a pivot table or a table, and save you a lot of time. Another powerful, very powerful shortcut is Ctrl plus Shift plus L. If you go, for example, here in row L, you select it and you press Ctrl Shift L, as you can see I automatically inserted the filters, and the filters in Excel are pretty useful And as you can see, automatically Excel included the filter just where I have information. Then the second one that I want to show you is Control plus Shift plus plus. As you can see, it is used to add, for example, a row or a column. So for example, if I go in column D, I select my column and I press Control Shift plus, I just insert a new column. I can just go back on Control Z, that is another very powerful shortcut that you must know. But also for the row, I just select, for example, row 9 and then Control Shift plus and then insert a new row. The next one, number 7, Control Page Down or Control Page Up. This can be useful to shift rapidly among the sheets. So for example, if I create a new sheet here, sheet 1, I can go back to the previous one with the Control Page Up. So page up is to move to the left and the page down to move to the right. So if you have many sheets in an Excel file, it can be pretty useful. Then we have 3 shortcuts using the Alt command. So for example, Alt H O I, it is used basically to automatically format the column or the row. It can be useful. So for example, if I have if originally I had the columns in this way, so if I want to format the columns so that they are basically considering just the information inside of each column. So for example, usually if I want to format the column C, I should go here and double press here in the middle between C and D to automatically format the column. You can do that by selecting all the column and then just press Alt H O I, and in this way basically you save a lot of time. If you have a very big database with many columns, basically doing this type of operation, double clicking on each column, can be pretty can take a lot of time. Then another shortcut is Alt VW VG. This shortcut is used basically to add or remove the grid lines in your worksheet. So it's something that I personally prefer, not seeing the grid lines in a worksheet. So it's a command that I use a lot of time. So for example, I just going to press Alt VW VG, and as you can see, I inserted the grid lines in my sheet. I can then just press it again, Alt VW VG, and I remove them. And the last one is Alt AC. Alt AC is a shortcut to remove the filter that I applied in a specific column, in all basically, in Excel. So for example, if here I filter for Alt, okay, as you can see, I just apply my filter. I can just remove it by clicking on the filter and just clearing filter from column from 1. Or I can either, for example, if I go back and I select again the filter 8 Alt, I can remove it also by pressing the shortcuts Alt AC, and as you can see, I just remove the filter. So that's my personal top 10 list of shortcuts in Excel, but that you can leverage also in other Microsoft Office tools that I believe will be also pretty useful for you. So let me know if you know different very useful shortcuts that I should be aware of, and let me know also if you have any comments or any doubts, and thank you for your attention.